When we had last left Team Bald, they were hot off their heels following some extended escapades inside of Avernus. They had arrived back in Baldur's Gate where they decided to debrief with absolutely everyone. People in their party, people named Kithrak Voss, people who were unexpected colleagues of Kithrak Voss. Everyone, including Helsik, got talking to, in a good way, for the most part. Well, maybe not for Helsik. Anyway, now it was time to continue their adventures in Baldur's Gate, and perhaps seek out what was going on at the Foundry. This is Baldur's Gate 3. Welcome back. Let's see. Now, as you can see, I have changed around the party, and I've done so extensively. Before I forget, though, let's do a long rest. I think that way we can refresh everybody's stuff. Let's see here. Good. Anyone have anything new? Also, we need to speak with Volo. Okay. There we are. Good. Look, I'm at the point where I'm skipping through the snoozing. Right, hopefully I don't accidentally skip through something important. Right, maybe that's a bad practice. Okay, let's go over here and move. Chat with Volo. Oh, before I forget, let me get Speak with Animals active. And see and Viz. Great. Okay, Volo.
Whatever happens next, be sure that I will document it all as accurately as possible.
Great. Can I see what you have? Do you have new stuff? I don't think so. I think it's all the old, it's all the old same stuff. Which is useful if you accidentally sell Volo something very important that you actually wanted. But, lo behold, we don't really need any of that. Alright. Sure. Let's get out of here. And then, let's leave camp.
What's the name of that river down there?
Okay. So, let's try to, as quickly as possible, go over the changes and whatnot. Let me shut this door just in case we hear these freaks talking about poop. Alright. So, of course, we're back with the Supreme Team. Now, for my character, not much has changed, right? I feel as if we're already brushing the shoulders of giants, right? We're already near optimum peak performance, I think. I feel like there might be very little I could do in the way of improvement and betterment, you know? I don't know. Maybe, but maybe not. Now, Jaheira. I've struggled for a bit with wondering exactly how I want Jaheira set up. Druid often feels to me like a sort of jack of all trades, which is probably the intent, right? They can do a whole lot of different things, but they aren't as specifically good at those things as other classes, right? If you're shape-shifting Druid, you're something of like a worse-off fighter, right? If you're doing melee damage or whatever. That said, your Panther mode, right? You have little exceptions to it, right? Like the Panther's invisibility is ridiculously good. You can turn into a little dude and fly around or hide around or whatever, right? You can go beyond people's ability to recognize you. Junk like that. Druid, not nearly as good a healer as like someone, for instance, like a cleric or a paladin, I would say. Not as good at doing spell damage as probably a wizard or sorcerer or perhaps even a warlock, I would guess. Yeah, with cantrips and all of that. But what they are pretty good at is just having a bunch of little guys, right? Just I feel like druids are exceptionally good at just having little dudes everywhere. So you know what? Before I said I wasn't down for it, but I kind of want to make Spore Druid work. I kind of want to do it. Granted, I want to say we have missed somewhere along the way. what would you call it? A very useful, like, summoned minion item. I'm pretty sure we saw one on, like, a vendor, and I didn't buy it because I was like, well, I don't really have anyone in the party who does that. Well, now we do, right? It's Jaheira. Now, also, I mentioned I would go with cold. I've gone for the exact opposite of it. In an unexpected way. Right? I'm going with fire in in a sense to where well, okay. The biggest exception to this, well, no, I do have them equipped. Oh no, it's the hat. Yeah, I don't have the hat of, like, fire acuity. I still have that equipped on what's his name. Instead, I want to try and get value out of the pyro quickness hat, right? Which maybe a spore druid would be ideal. That way you can get an additional bonus action, right? Because that'll let Jaheira respond with putting up, like, another grasping vine. Putting down Shillelagh, right, on herself. Healing word, very useful. Or, alternatively, let's see here. Once we activate symbiotic entity, entity, she then gets access to a couple other things, right? Thanks to her armor, once per long rest, she can throw down haste spores. How long does this last? I don't even know. You know what? We should probably test it right here and right now, just so we have a good idea of it. It says 1 turn, but that's, I think, the duration of the spores in the world, and not the duration of the haste effect. So let's try it. Oh shit, no, it is just 1 turn. But I think what is crucial... Yeah, the haste spores themselves stick around for a while. Oh, wow, okay. Huh. Yeah, they stick around for maybe 2 or 3 turns? Yeah, that's fascinating. Okay. But now she also does get access to, for instance, stuff like this. The Timesk spores can befuddle creatures, right? This, Bibberbang, Noxious Fumes, which I think, let's see, deals poison damage. Oh no, okay, I was about to say, is this the one that makes it to where you can't attack? But no, it's just a additional dot. Now also crucially, right, is spreading spores, which I think is going to be maybe her go-to, right? We're going to line up fire damage every time, and then we're going to, like, buff heal people, because she's still got that ring that gives, like, a minor version of Bless, right? We'll heal people up, top them off a little bit, throw down spreading spores, which I think is super duper good. Right. I think. This could be a very strange way of playing this, right? I do not think that this is, like, the ideal way of doing it, but frankly, everybody else in the party is so well off, I feel like I'm inclined to experiment, right? We're not even on honor mode, right? You know, let's, why not have fun screwing around with stuff, right? It's part of the fun. Regardless, we've got all that active. Let me actually see here. Oh, also, here, I should go over, like, her feats, right? I buffed up Wisdom a bit. I corrected it as well, because before we were overcapped at an odd number, so I changed around her attributes, or her ability scores, I think they're called, to account for Khalid's gift. So now we have Wisdom at a nice round 20, and we've evened out other scores and whatnot. I think I was able to eke out some more Dex, which just gave her more AC, so she's up to now a huge 20. Pretty damn beefy. Not using, of course, thanks to the armor, she isn't wielding, what do you call it? Oh my god, what do you call it? Mage armor. She's not wielding mage armor. But I don't think she really needs it, right? She's doing pretty good without. considering she's got the plus AC boots and ring, right? It's kind of helped out a good bit, I think. But I think our main bread and butter for Jaheira will be get a whole bunch of dudes out, right? And then throw down something like, where is it here? Yeah, flaming sphere. I can move the sphere even. Yeah. Does it cost her an action to move it? Oh, it's one of these. Oh my god, okay. Yeah, it's kind of its own being.
Such authority.
I guess. I did not realize that. It lives for 10 turns. Does it? When will it self-destruct or whatever? Okay. Well, as we can see, it doesn't hurt our folks, which is nice. That's very weird. This is very weird. I did not realize that the flaming sphere was like a boulder. I thought it was like a hovering, I don't know, like star, right? Like it would be like a sun or like a floating mote of fire. How come it's still active? Oh, it can do damage too. What the fuck is this thing? Oh, there it goes. But yeah, I figure we have that. It requires concentration, right? But we also have stuff like Fireball. I went and got the cantrip. I got, what's it called? Spell Sniper? Which lets me get a wisdom scaling cantrip of Firebolt, which may be necessary. This is something for her to throw out, you know, because unlike how things were before, where I've used up, or I've reserved a lot of her spell slots for something like throwing out Cloud Kill. Now I'm kind of devoting a bunch of them to conjuring dudes, right? So, who knows how many we'll have left over and all of that? Here, if anything. Let's see. Should I get rid of, yeah, this, Pass Without Trace. And let's get, like, Enhance Ability, which it has some value outside of combat. Okay, yeah, good. But yeah, that's the general thinking behind this. Is this maybe a mistake? Maybe. Maybe. But I like the idea of toying around with it and playing around with it, especially in such a weird way where we're also weaving in these strange effects, right? We're weaving in these other things with Spore Druid, right? Where we can proc through Pyro Quickness the ability to throw out, I don't know, can I throw it out twice? Can I throw out multiple instances of this? Right? Like if I pop this out right here, how does that work? Right? And then now it's occupying the area. And if I throw out another one, I'm assuming it disappears, right? Yeah, you can only have one up at a time. Right? But that's still useful in and of itself, because although it's free, you do have to concern yourself with moving it. It's not like certain concentration AoE spells where you can just freely move them around, right? But one of the things that I was thinking would be kind of cool is with Kareska's Favor, we can actually still build up heat, right? When the affected entity deals damage with a spell, it gains 1 turn of heat. So we could build up heat by way of using, like, spreading spores. By way of using, what do you call it here? Halo of Spores. A reaction. And then we could also, I don't know, we could use another turn to heal. I'm curious, is if we reissue spreading spores out twice, does that count for 2? right? If I do it twice, does that count as another version of the spell? Because there may be times where I don't want to toss out a heal, or I don't want to shillelagh or use grasping vine or whatever, you know? There may be instances where that is true, right? But otherwise, we have a decent little slew of super helpful and super useful bonus action things. Not many, but what are there are incredibly useful, I think. Right. And also last time, I was very impressed with Grasping Vine having a 100% success chance on party members as a way of sort of pulling them out. What I'm curious about, and what I think worked, I can't remember exactly, but I think if Grasping Vine pulls someone away from an enemy, the enemy doesn't get opportunity, right? It's only if the being, right, the character moves away, right? But if they are pulled away or pushed away by another entity, right? For instance, a friendly Grasping Vine, then they're fine. They don't have to worry about disengaging, and they can save that disengage bonus action or whatever action, full ass action, for something else, something more important, more useful, right? That's sort of my thinking on it. You know, that's what I'm guessing. But nonetheless, I feel like we have devised a very weird but very interesting, to me at least, way of playing Jaheira, of playing like a Spore Druid, by sort of weaving in, by foregoing, somewhat out of necessity, more either necromancy, necrotic damage, or minion-focused stuff, and getting in a little bit of pyro quickness, and sort of more focusing on the Spore Druid's ability to, like, shove out spreading spores, shove out halo of spores, stuff like that. It's very interesting and weird to me, right? I'm into it. For now, at least. We'll see how things ultimately pan out. But for now, like I said, very much interested to see how it functions. For Karlach, I think we're done with the many changes going on with Jaheira. For Karlach, pretty straightforward. She's now a attribute or ability score powerhouse, right? Thanks to the Amulet of Greater Health, sets her con to 23. Gauntlets of Hill Giant Strength sets her strength to 23. Thus, I pulled out all of her points from Strength and Constitution, because this is our secret benefit of playing a video game where we can respec freely. Pulled them all out, pumped up Dex to 20, which before it was 18, so she got 1 extra AC out of there, in addition to, of course, all that she gets from Constitution being very high, right? Because she was using the I forgot what the gauntlets were called, but the ones that set your Dex to 18 and give you +1 attack, right? And because of that, because her strength is now overcapped at 23, I gave her Bone Spike Garb back, right? So she gets some temp HP, she gets the damage reduction, and she's got the Thorns effect, right? So finally she can make use of this. The only downside is, being as she is not a Beastmaster Barb, I am kind of missing her having just like an absurd amount of encumbrance. That's kind of sad. But we have Minsk in the party now, who can more than carry those burdens, right? He can pick up the slack, which he already is. I've given him, what do you call it? The party's money, right? I feel like, you know, Minsk is the right pick to carry around the party's money. Nonetheless, those are pretty much the changes with Karlach. Like I said, nothing too wild. Let's see. Is there anything else in particular? I don't think so. Oh, one of the things about Jaheira that I wanted to mention, I spent like 3 fucking hours respeccing and retooling the party, right? Like this, like, make no mistake, if you've never played this fucking game and you're just watching me play it all the way through to this point, there is so much fun in like retooling characters and your party and their synergies, and especially interacting with the various bits of itemization. It's incredibly fun, and I fucking love it so much. Regardless. I also struggle to find the value of being a Circle of Land druid, right? Wherein you just specialize in spellcasting. I almost wonder, is Circle of Spores just better? Is it just the better spellcaster version of druid? I don't know. Because on the flip side, there are a few spells that you can't get access to as a spore druid that you could get as, for instance, a land druid. A big one would be haste. I'm getting haste on Jaheira through Darkfire Shortbow, right? But having said that, it's not missed too much because she has a whole bunch of concentration stuff anyway, and we don't have a fighter in the party, right? I feel like, true enough, we could get pretty decent value out of haste on any of the rest of our party, but as we saw last time, man, haste on Lae'zel on a fighter was ridiculous. It was absurd, right? It was so astonishingly good. Anyway, so I'm not missing haste too much, right? And there's no other major spells that I feel like I'm really sad about not getting, aside from haste, right? That's the big one. But otherwise, I feel like being able to spend a reaction to use Halo of Spores for as little damage as it is, but it lets you proc other effects and stuff like that, which I'm wondering, like, would it be worth it to tool around with more stuff on Jaheira, right? To, like, proc effects where it's like, oh, if the enemy fails a save throw against your spell effects, or if they fail or if they take spell damage from you, right? Then this effect procs. Like, for instance, what we have with Kareska's Favor, right? We'll get extra bits of heat thanks to her throwing out, what's it called? Yeah, what I just mentioned, Halo of Spores and Spreading Spores, right? Those will be, like, versions of spell damage that should proc Kareska's Flame. And even going even further with the Staff of Kareska, I wonder, like, would it be worth it to look into some of these other ones, right? Like, would it be worthwhile to proc Frost? Because how many different issuances of Frost could we do? Right? Like, we're starting to get to the point where we're kind of rivaling a 3-pronged blast, I assume, of, like, Eldritch Blast, which is very easy to spam and you just keep pumping them out, right? I would assume with Eldritch Blast, if you're using that in conjunction with Kareska's Hootenanny here, you're getting 3 ticks of Frost, 3 ticks of Heat, 3 ticks of Lightning Charge, right? Which is another kind of big one, right? Lightning Charge is one that I'm really wondering about, you know? That's a big point of consideration because you deal an additional 1 lightning damage, right? I'm not sure. The only catch is that lightning charges, I think it's only ever 1, right? So the question is, how do you want your damage spread out? Right? How do you want that spread out? Which I don't know. I don't know. And true enough, we may have more options with lightning in her repertoire. Well, fuck, I don't know. It seems like we only have the one. Call Lightning, but Call Lightning's one of the better ones. You know, Call Lightning is one of the better ones. And if we spec into Lightning here, we do get Chain Lightning and Lightning Bolt. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Heat's better. Right, because, yeah, 1 to 4. Well, no, Heat Convergence here? Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. Regardless, over here, Reverberation is another one that's pretty interesting because it gives you, after 5 stacks, it can prone, similar to Frost. The poison one, as we have learned, isn't too hot to trot. Noxious fumes, I feel like, isn't that cool either, you know? But some of these are very fascinating. And I wonder, like, how would they synergize with something like spreading spores, with something like halo of spores, you know? Which, true enough, you could make an argument that, well, that's true, it does perform well, but if you gave it to, like, a warlock, or you gave it to, like, a wizard that specializes in magic missile or, what do you call it, the scorching rays, you can get way more applications, right? I think that's absolutely the case. That's absolutely true. But here, let's quick load back. Get our spells and stuff back. But I think, right, we have to take into account the other benefits of playing this Spore Druid, right? Being able to toss out the haste, being able to have like a slew of little dudes around, you know, a bunch of little minions able to take heat, right? Being able to do a little bit of everything. Right? Being able to throw out a heal as a bonus action because it procs off of that weird hat. That otherwise, you know, if I were playing a fire-focused like wizard or, what do you call it, cleric or something like that, I would probably rather have the hat of fire acuity, you know? So the pyro quickness hat becomes a weird one to use, right? I would rather be able to get off something like hold monster or hold creature or some crowd control more easily, right? I'm not sure, but I've also got other staves here. These ones this one here gives you like necromancy. This is also another fascinating one, the life essence. It lets me cast a necromancy spell without consuming a spell slot. Very fascinating. This is one that I was super duper considering, right? Because it forces them to have disadvantage against necromancy. Which, unfortunately, I think, yeah, Halo of Spores and Spreading Spores are not considered necromantic. They deal necrotic damage, but they're considered class actions. So I don't know that they would benefit from Staff of Cherished and Necromancy, right? But what is true is that wielding that, if Shahira got a kill, which it's going to be tough for her to do that, right? But if she did get a kill with a spell, she would then be able to pop off with, like, Blight without having it consume a spell slot. And I'm wondering, like, can you upcast it? Right, when it says do it without using a spell slot, does that permit you to upcast it to, like, rank 6? You know? I don't know, it's something to think about. Right? Another point of interest. Oh no, it says kill a hostile creature. Right, I was about to say, what if you killed one of your own? Right? Right, that sounds very necromancer focused, you know? But just in case this doesn't work out, like I said, I've got here the Staff of Cherished Necromancy, which seems a lot more like expected way you would wield a Spore Druid. And same goes for Morning Frost if we want to go that route, right? If we want to focus more on cold damage, as I had originally thought I would. Right. I think that's part of why I struggle with what to do with Shahira, is because she's adept at doing a lot of different things. Right. Let's see. Oh, I need a corpse, don't I? Yeah. None of this'll work. Okay. Let's see here. Let me get a woodland being. And have the woodland beings summon their situation. There we are. Good. And then, let's see here. Sorry, a lot of this video is just going to end up being me, like, talking about this shit. Right? Not terribly interesting, right? But like I said, unfortunately, I'm super into it. Okay. Let's go with the ice dudes. More cannon fodder, I think, is better if we have to deal with these smaller ones. Right? Now, the real question now is, do I want Hero's Feast since we're not using poison? Right? Being immune to poison and disease and frighten is cool. And the HP increase and whiz saves are done with advantage. But you know what else is cool? Being able to heal with a dude. Right? Being able to heal with the Water Myrmidon is so valuable. Yeah, I think that's the play. We go with the Water Myrmidon. Which in that sense too, maybe an electric Jaheira would be better. Maybe that would be the ideal way to play it. Right? I don't know. I don't know. I feel like she has so many options, like I said, that it makes it a little bit challenging to focus in on one. Right? It's like trying to focus a jack of all trades. Okay. Oh, and lastly for Minsk, I just moved over some of the stuff that was on Lae'zel onto Minsk, and I gave him the Helldusk armor, which isn't ideal for him, right? He doesn't get the ultimate benefit of it, which being, it's high-end heavy armor that suddenly you're just proficient in, right? But, I want Minsk in the party, right? And I don't really have anyone else I can give it to. Right, because we're using like barbarian clothing. I'm using caster clothing. Jaheira is using light armor for druids, right? But I've given it to Minsk. Minsk is using Legacy of the Masters off of Lae'zel. Same with the boots, I think, and the hat, the ring or the little trinkets here, the amulet, and the risky ring, right? I did remove. The thermo-arcanic gloves off of Minsk, because I'm not sure what gloves otherwise I would use on Jaheira, right? I struggle with what other gloves I would use for, like, necromantic or necrotic damage or whatever, or gloves that are relevant to little dudes, right? I struggle with that. The other point with Jaheira, I think, is that her, what do you call it here? Symbiotic entity does give her extra damage with a melee and unarmed strike attack, right? It gives 1 to 6 extra necrotic, which is nothing to scoff at, you know? It's worth bearing in mind, it's worth thinking about. But I don't know that we need it. You know, I don't know that we need it. Right? Okay. Go back to this. Good.
Is that blood?
Okay.
No, never mind.
So yeah, that's for the most part, that's the party. That's what we've got going on. It's a lot, but you know, this is where we are in the game. Right? Let's also get Boo before I forget. There we are. And we should probably cast this. Okay. And let's do a few more. Good. Nice to be able to cast that at rank 6. It's got to be said. Okay. Now let's quick save. Sorry. Like I said, this is like 3+ hours worth of me tinkering, right? So it ends up like taking up half the video just talking about this shit, right? Okay. I can't imagine we'll have too much of this present in the inevitable second Dark Urge playthrough in the future. But I don't know, we'll see. I do imagine it'll go significantly quicker because we won't be reading books unless they seem brand new. Okay, so let's go over to... Let's see, Baldur's Gate surface.
What's the use being first in line if the line's not moving?
Okay. And, oh no, we can Yeah, we can enter from the docks here. There we are. Let's do a quick save again. But yeah, like I said, I can't remember where there was a bunch of minion-focused stuff. Because true enough, it would be good for Jaheira, right? Like, for instance, I could throw out this fucking rat that I've been carrying around. Couldn't she use that? Oh, where'd it go? Did I already get rid of that fucking rat? Oh no, I gave it to Karlach. Okay. Oh, man. Let's see. So if I throw the rat down. God, I can't even throw it hardly. Okay. Drop rat. Okay. Well, can't be done. God, let's get rid of this fucking rat. My God. Please, make it leave. There we go. Okay.
Do what must be done.
Now, Jaheira, can you call upon your fungus among us? And have a dude arrive from this rat Elon. Yeah, perfect. Look at that. Okay. And can we get another one? Can you only have one up at a time? I don't know. I think you can have a bunch. I think you can have a whole bunch. Which is good because they have like no HP, but they do have the undead fortitude, which is kind of unique. Okay. Too bad we can't use it on the dead fish over here, huh? Yeah, why not? Right? It should count as a corpse. If we can... Listen, if we can summon a whole ass zombie off of a dead fucking rat, I should be able to also do it off of a dead fish. A rotten fish. But Baldur's Gate 3 sucks. It's the worst fucking game ever made and doesn't let me do it. As it turns out, Larian, total ass.
Light on my feet.
Okay. Let's see. So how the hell do we get in here without just pissing everybody off? I mean, there's this area. Right? We could jump up and over there. How about up here? Right? How about over here? We need to find a route in. Yeah, this looks like we could maybe go up? Somehow? No, you can't quite. Huh. Okay. Man, I can see in pretty good, though. Look at that. Look at tactical view. Okay. Should I fuck with... Should I mess with the foundry, or should I go to the submersible? Right? Okay. Avenge the Iron Hands, avenge the drowned. We could do that. Okay. Yeah, how would we get over there without causing a fucking stir? Let's go back over this way. I'm assuming there must be like a subterranean access point or whatever. There must be, right? Surely it's not completely closed off. Right, maybe where we were just at, we could do that to get over. Let's see here. Maybe we could jump across here. Well, maybe I can't, but perhaps Karlak can. She kind of can. Are there steel watch out there, though? I feel like there would be. Okay, let's go back to the sewer. City sewers. Let's scope it out from here. So that's Undercity ruins there. This is where we got Minsk. Huh. Where would there be an access point to get up into that? I don't know if there is one. Well, there's this here. Yeah, we haven't really explored this. Right? Yeah, this section, because there's the ruins, which I assume is Orin stuff. Yeah, maybe down here. Okay, we'll investigate that and cross our fingers that maybe it'll prove to be an access point. Oh, hey, who the oh, shit! Oh my god, what a chance to come upon you all. Hello, Gandrel?
My children. My sweet ones. What have they done to you?
I'm hungry, Father.
Oh shit, we should have a Starian here.
It hurts, Father. The hunger. It never stops.
Please, do you know of anything that can be done?
Let's quick save. Can I leave and then come back with a Starian real quick? Right? Just to lend some helpful advice. Right? Can I do that real fast? Let's see. So if I reinitiate dialogue.
I don't know if this is more blessing or curse, but it is at least something. Thank you, my friend.
Oh.
I do not know. Thank you, my friend.
Okay, fuck. Let's see. Is there a way I can reload that? Oh, shit. Well, here we are. Yeah, back at Lower City. Okay. Okay. Look, all in the name of getting Astarian to have something to say there. Which I don't even know if that'll be important at all. It may not be, but I feel like we should do it. Right. Consider it a minor mistake on my behalf from being excited with the team respecs and all of that. The question is, who do we swap out with? Probably Minsk. I think he's the easiest to swap out because he doesn't have any real, like, party buffs. Okay. So let's go back to camp. And then Astarian.
Always at your side.
There we go.
What can I do for you, my friend?
Let's see, I want you in the party.
I would, but you have so many friends already.
Minsk can make way.
In that case, I'd be happy to tag along.
Oh. The unfortunate thing is that he was carrying all of our money too, so now I am. Let's give it to Jaheira. Good. Okay, and then city sewers. I assume there won't be combat. We just want a little bit of reactivity here.
Never wanted
a little
the
bit of
easy path.
closure. Okay, hello.
My children. My sweet ones.
I'm hungry, Father.
It hurts, Father.
Please, do you know of anything that can be done?
Oh shit, no. He won't even say anything. Okay. Let them feed on animals. It's the best you can do. I'd put them out of their misery myself. Oh no, you're on your own there. Leave. Let them feed on animals.
I've been fighting it, but I think you're right. Better that than they start feeding off humans.
Yeah, I mean, we literally... right? I mean, we feed off of animals in a way, too. It's not that different. Okay. Gandrel?
I do not know if this is more blessing or curse, but it is at least something. Thank you, my friend.
Let's see. Chessa?
At least I'm not alone. I could not have borne that eternity. Is this my life now? Darkness and hunger.
It need not be, though.
Thank you for your mercy. Thank you for everything. I did not expect you to free us, but I am grateful.
Man, I wonder if we'll see them around, more of them. Right? Well, there's the cranium rat. Still don't really know what's up with that, do we? Okay, let's go back to camp. Thanks for nothing, Starian. What the hell? Okay. Let's see, Minsk, I want you back.
A little rest to brush the road from Boo's fur, and then back to our adventuring.
And then follow me.
Miniature as Boo is, he is also giant. You will need to make room for us, my friend.
Take a Starian's place.
Boo is at your back. Well, Minskis.
There we go. And unfortunately, Boo got unsummoned. But what can you do? Okay. Or did he? He's dead now.
No time to rest.
That can't be. Oh my god, look at the blood. Shadowheart, what have you done? Let's leave camp. There we go. Yeah, it is really disturbing to me that
sleeps in my boot.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Can't give up now.
That's not good.
Can't slow down.
Let's head on over. Could we talk to Cranium Rat? Yeah. That's what you're about. Maybe this goes to the foundry right here. Yeah, check the icon. Maybe this is the secret. Maybe this is the route. What's in here? Was this where Voss was? Yeah. How come I keep closing that? What the hell is wrong with me? Okay. So up this way. How do I get over to this? This is from the little raft. Right? Yeah. Okay. So let's go back onto this and check it out. Because maybe that's more foundry access there. Because we never explored down this way. There was like a person down there chilling, like a sewer person.
Let's move.
Okay. God, how are we all going to get on this? Oh my god. This game can do anything. Alright. Sure. Yeah, you. Lorna Esthelian. Who are you? Okay, over this way. Great. Red apple, I'll take that. Some little crates in here. You know what, should we be taking some of these crates for later?
Hides and Boo seeks.
I think we ought to.
Let us
There we
have
go.
a little look.
Never a dull moment.
Okay.
Path lies before me.
Curled missing poster? A smudged charcoal rendering of a sober young boy with a scar on his neck. Missing. Misha. Reward offered for any information on beloved child. Gratefully received at Gur encampment in Worms Crossing. Now the fourth child to go missing. any and all information desired. Okay.
Who says what?
Let's
A
get
gift for
that.
who?
Another missing poster. A smudged charcoal rendering of a smiling young girl. Missing. Chessa. Oh, okay. No wonder they were here. Reward offered for any information on beloved child. Gratefully received at Gur encampment in Worms Crossing. Okay. Some various bits of food. Lovely. Open crate. We'll add all that to wares. What's this? Oh, silver knife. Though quite pretty, this knife is dull from many years of use. Mirror?
Perhaps I should paint the rest of my skull. What say you, Boo? Boo, Minsk has something in his teeth. Would you mind?
Wow, we're getting all the mirror interactions, I think.
Minsk has something in his
Oh,
teeth.
never mind.
Would you mind? Bounce light all you wish, little mirror. Minsk will only bounce it back. Bounce light all you wish.
Okay, so
little
it's
mirror.
these three that are
Minsk
the
will only
different
bounce it
interactions.
back.
Let's see. Faded. Missing poster. A smudged charcoal rendering of a young girl with white streaks in her hair. Missing. Cass. Reward offered for any information on beloved child. Gratefully received at Gur encampment in Worms Crossing. Okay. And a damp one. A smudged charcoal rendering of a smiling young girl. Missing Chessa. Oh, we read about Chessa. I'm adding that to wares. Okay.
Shouldn't have wished to live.
Let's
in
see what
more
everyone has to
interesting
say
times.
about these.
Not bad. I've had better days, and worse ones. Still me, even after everything. Not bad. I've had better days, and worse ones.
So it depends on
Not bad.
who is looking,
I've
I
had
guess.
better days, and worse ones.
Because for
Let's
Minsk...
have a look at myself.
Oh, yeah, look. Huh.
This ought to be good.
Maybe it's random?
What good all this ethereal eladrin blood if I can still get pimples? What good all this ethereal eladrin blood if I can still get pimples? I can fawn over my face later. What good all this ethereal eladrin blood if I can still get pimples? This body can take a little more punishment yet.
Jesus.
What's cooking?
Okay, and Karlak.
Check out those arms. Check out those arms. Hey, girl. Hey, good looking.
Okay, Karlak. Jeez. Maybe you had more in common with Raphael than we all thought.
Still
okay.
breathing, despite everything.
Let's see. No, it's fitting. It's her himbo status, right? That's 100% what that
If
is
not
there.
over, then through.
Okay. Over this way. There we go. Good. Okay. Anything particular about you? No, you're just a person. Hello?
Ah, a friendly face at last. Are you going to the party as well?
A party? In the sewers? Which party is that? I get so many invitations. I very much doubt you're going where I'm going. Maybe you are, though. Let's play dumb. Which party is that? I get... Or let's play smart, but also dumb. Which party is that? I get so many invitations.
I don't know if I should say. It's very exclusive. Oh, go on then, I'll tell you. It's an underground party at a place called the Palace. My date's supposed to meet me here, but there's no sign of him. You haven't seen him, have you? Pale, skinny, extremely piercing eyes.
Oh,
It's
he's
funny.
vampire.
He was ever so keen for me to come. He didn't seem the type to cancel.
What type did he seem? Did he say what kind of party it's supposed to be? Perhaps he lost his appetite. What type did he seem?
Normal. Mostly. Didn't have much of an appetite at dinner, though he said he was saving himself for tonight.
Oh, he is vampire, blee!
I don't understand why he hasn't shown up.
I'm wondering that myself. I'd cut your losses if I were you. Was there anything else unique about this date of yours? I'm sure he'll show up eventually. Anything else unique about him? Can we eventually get to the point where we can just say it? Was there anything else unique about him?
Now you mention it, he brought his own wine with him to the mermaid last night. Strange smell it had. Kind of metallic. You know what? I might give this party a miss. Plenty more fish in the Chionthar, as they say. If you see him, don't tell him I was here. Just tell him I wasn't ready to be in a relationship. I'm sure he'll understand.
Huh. Okay. Interesting. I wonder if that would have gone differently if we hadn't yet gone to Cazador's palace. Right? So there was going to be a whole-ass underground party situation. And here I thought you could only ever have 4 people in a party. Come on, that was pretty good, huh? That was pretty good. that wasn't half bad. Okay, over here. Now let's control Minsk.
Met my hamster.
Loot that way. Anything else here? Can't reach that. Good. Okay. A little bit more. Okay. Anything else around here? Nope. Let's go through this door. Which it looks like, yeah, it leads a little somewhere. Maybe we've looked there.
Time to press ahead.
Okay. Maybe this was to be where the party was at. Oh yeah, this looks familiar. This architecture. Okay, I guess we know where we're roughly at. Alright, over here. Empty crates. Weird. Terrifying gargoyle. Okay. Yeah, look at that. Is there some sort of check we can pass to get in there? No. Okay. Gosh, should we get Astarion back in the party again? Right? Should we do that? Surely if anyone would know.
Nothing.
What if I turn out that light? Oh, wishful thinking. Because how else would we get in there? That's gotta be it. Maybe we can walk through that. Hang on, let's try and just walk right through it. No. Doesn't work. Is there something behind the barrel before we go get Astarion? No? Okay. Let's go get him, on the off chance that he'll have something to say. Okay. We'll wait for the save to go through. Yeah, there's totally something there. Okay. Maybe we're just forever locked out of it now. Okay. Over here.
Already feeling better.
Great.
Hello, my dear.
Let's see, I need you in my party.
Perhaps if you lost a...
Alright, we can swap out Minsk.
In that case...
Great. Oh, whoops. I have to move this over to Jaheira again. And let's leave camp. Anything? Do we need to walk past some sort of, like, scripting threshold? Maybe this gargoyle? No. What the fuck? Huh. Yeah, maybe we just can't do it anymore. And did we not fully explore Cazador's? Right? Where would this pop out at? Huh. Yeah, Astarion's got nothing.
What can I do for you, my friend?
Okay. Huh. Is there like a hidden button around here? No. Don't think so. Okay. Well, let's go back to camp and get let's get Minsk back again. Okay. Over here. Get you back in the party for our big assault on the foundry.
Make sure you are refreshed before we set out again, friend. The road to justice is paved with kicked buttocks.
Follow me.
Minsk is honored indeed, but you have not the space, hmm?
You can take Astarian's place.
Who is at your back?
Okay. And then let's head back again. Okay. There we are. Yeah, look at the way it's... Yeah, there's totally something in there. Look at that fog of war. Ooh, we'll never know. I'll only get to know in another life, I bet. Unless this right here connects over. Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, I bet it connects right there. Okay, so we may yet be able to learn. Okay. Sure. I can live with that. Now let's go back onto this thing. Actually, you know what? It may be faster to just go over here to sewers and then travel north rather than screw around on the little platform. Okay, let's see. There it is. Okay.
The sewer. Whatever it's called.
Oh, hey, we could summon some people off of these dead bodies here. Right? Could we not? I think so. Yeah, let's go. We'll hold right here.
Did you go for a swim earlier?
And let's get Jaheira.
Nah, don't know how to swim.
Over this one.
Oozing, stinking lump floating downstream.
Let's do a quick save. And let's see. Can we have another fungal dude at the same time? Oh look, actually they disappeared.
I keep forgetting.
Did they not last for a long time or what? What happened to the last one?
But we are troublemakers.
Oh, we probably still have the rat.
And keep your mucky little peepholes peeled.
Okay.
What's the name of that river down there?
Wizard called it the sewer.
Good.
Whatever it's called, it's impressive. And it tastes great.
So they are my favorite too.
Alright, we'll wait for the quick save to go through before we find out. Wow, yeah, you can have a whole shitload.
I'd love to.
That
thanks.
is wild. Okay. Yeah, and here's the rat. Let's throw you. How often do these come back? Per long rest. I see. Okay.
Step to go.
Any god. Absolute
Oh. Slipping and sliding in all this poop. Okay. Great. And one more poop zone. Oh shit. Oh, they got mad. Oh, they got so mad. We went too close to the coffin, right? That's what happened. In fact, it was maybe one of our stupid ass zombies that did it. Because remember, first time we came through, they didn't want us to go and disturb the body, right? And I see no reason to. I see no reason to upset them. Okay. We'll get this one body, and then we'll be on our way. Right. We'll get the one and we'll head back over. Okay.
Whatever it's called, it's impressive.
Oh shit.
And it tastes great.
So they
Someday I will sit down. I mean it.
Did you go for a swim earlier?
Okay, great.
Don't know how to swim.
Yeah, they're like the ultimate cannon fodder, right? They're so shitty. They're good at nothing, but they're difficult to kill. Okay. Great.
I keep forgetting.
Wow, they're actually so pathetic they can't even get through the poop. They're literally slipping and sliding nonstop on the poop.
We are troublemakers.
They cannot help but slip and slide on that poop. Okay, here, Karlak, you throw that down. That rat. There we go. And let's do animate dead here as well. I don't understand why we would want the non-flying one, right? I don't know why we would ever want that.
Shake off the dust.
Oh shit, it doesn't count. Huh. Oh, wild. Yeah, it doesn't count. The rat can't be used for this type of zombie. But the fungal infestation does work. Huh. Okay. Good to know. Okay, okay. Sure, let's gather all of these freaks right here. Okay, and then we'll buff them up real quick. Good. Okay. Holy shit. What a legion of dudes. And she could have at least one more. And a familiar, right? If we really wanted. We could also give her familiar. Right? We could, like, have her summon Scratch or something. Alright. Well, I think we'll call it here for now, just before we enter the foundry, I presume. Right? It would be very weird if this didn't go into the foundry, given what this looks like and the marker here. So when next we return, we're entering through the... I don't know, whatever we're going to come up through. Until next time, please take care of each other.